What do you say to Australians who are frustrated or disappointed at the slow pace of the rollout?
Well, I think it's important when we provide even more information that just before Easter, we hit 79,000 vaccinations in a day. And it is true that at this stage of our rollout, it's actually better than where Germany was. It's better than where New Zealand was. It was better than where South Korea was and Japan was. And so I think there will be some important context in the weeks ahead as we see the significant ramp up of the distribution network. And already we're around about 1,500 or thereabouts GPs that are in the network at the moment, but we're expecting that to grow even more by the end of this week. And what this means is that we're getting more points of distribution closer to people in their communities. I want to stress this point, and that is in the phase we're in currently, we're dealing with Australians who are more vulnerable. And so the best place for those Australians who may be elderly or may have disabilities or are in any of these sorts of groups is to get that healthcare support of their vaccination through their GP. Their GP knows their medical history. Their GP has built up confidence with them over a long period of time. They can talk to them about any questions or issues they might have about the vaccination. And so the strategy has always been to use the primary health network to ensure that we can do the bulk of the vaccinations that are done for this important program. Now, that's no different to many other vaccinations that are done. I mean, our GP network does hundreds of thousands of vaccinations every week at normal times. And this is added to that load, and they're doing a tremendous job, and more are signing up. And so in the weeks ahead, I think you'll see that continue to improve. The challenges Australia has been a supply problem. Pure and simple. There was over 3 million doses from overseas that were contracted that never came. And that obviously resulted in an inability to get 3 million other doses out and distributed through the network. And I think it's really important that that these points are made very clearly when we're talking about the rollout of the vaccine. Now, as CSL are ramping up their production and their systems are becoming even more efficient as they get into the rhythm of their production systems. There is also the approvals that must follow once batches are produced. That involves both AstraZeneca internationally. It involves the TGA batch testing as well. I think it's very important that people understand that the fill and finish process doesn't involve the little vial coming off the production line and it goes straight to a courier and goes to the GP or the hospital where the states may be administering doses. That's not how it works. The way it works is once the vials are produced, they have to go through an approval process. And that's important because Australians need to be assured of these vaccines and that they are ticking all the boxes. It's not just a matter of having the vaccine approved initially by the TGA. They have to test the batches as well. That's about Australian safety. And I don't intend to rush that process and put people's health at risk. So the capacity to distribute, the capacity to administer, the production of the vaccines are starting to increase. And as that occurs in the weeks ahead, then we'll see ourselves progressively working through what is a very large group of people we're seeing to get vaccinated.